Good. We'll crack on. Now, one of the things that we want to be doing in Transform Base is connecting you internationally. And about 4 or 5 months ago, I had the pleasure of meeting our next speaker to discuss what they're doing in Nigeria, one of the biggest economies in Africa. And one of the things we want to do is help to figure out how we ensure what we're learning here does not increase the wealth divide. It's incredibly important on a fully global basis for that. So we had the pleasure of meeting the next speaker. His name is Kashifu Inoue Abdullahi, and you know he's important because Nigeria's just been through an election, and he remains as the Director General in charge of one of the departments that's probably the most important department that will help figure out the strategies for the future prosperity of a tech-powered Nigeria. Please welcome our next speaker to the stage. Kashifu, come to the stage, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric, for the amazing introduction. I'm incredibly excited to be here. First and foremost, I want to thank the organizers of this event for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak to you about the flourishing talent ecosystem in Africa and our strategy to position Nigeria as the global talent net exporter. Imagine a nation where innovative ideas are valued and rewarded, where 60% of the population is digitally native, under the age of 25, and has access to the latest technologies and services, where businesses can readily hire creative, talented, and competent workers, where entrepreneurs can easily and conveniently establish and grow business. That is the Nigeria of today, and I'm here to inform you that the future is much more brighter and more promising. The theme of my presentation, Africa Tech Nation, from skills to investment to international connections, is captivating. And it resonated with me in light of 2 intriguing reports from Korn Ferry and PwC. Korn Ferry's report, titled The Future of Work, the Global Talent Crunch, predicts that by 2030, there will be 85 million talent deficit. If left unaddressed, that could cost the world $8.5 trillion in unrealized annual revenue. And the second report from PwC, Nigerian Brands Export, the optimal path to developing Nigerian economy, argues that talent export is the Nigerian's most effective path to development. So looking at these 2 reports, and when you juxtapose them, it presents Nigeria as not only the talent factory, but the leader when it comes to investment and international collaboration. And our economic outlook presents a vast market because of our population and talented pool you can capitalize on to build the next frontier applications. So today I will share 4 competitive advantages you have investing in Nigeria, where you can only get this competitive advantage in Nigeria. Firstly, we have a large and expanding market. When you talk about digital economy, AI, robotics, it's about the numbers. Your platform is as the number of the users determine the value of your platform. So we have that population. We have the largest population in Africa with more than 200 million, and it is projected to reach over 300 million by 2050. And Nigeria will be the third largest population in the world, and with the youngest population as well. Secondly, you have access to talented workforce. Today, your company is as good as its next product or service. And your next product is as good as the people who make it. Nigeria, we are naturally talented, and we are digitally native, with more than 60% of our population under 25. And thirdly, if you are looking for high potential for social and economic impact, invest in Nigeria and Africa. We've been talking about solving real problems. That's where we have real problems, in Nigeria and Africa. And we need innovative solutions to leapfrog. I know some of you will wonder why you should invest in Nigeria or Africa. Because if you look at the investment last year, like I asked questions in the afternoon breakout session, about over 626 billion US dollars was invested in the tech ecosystem last year. But less than 1% was invested in Africa. Why? Because everybody is afraid of taking his money to Africa. But I don't think that's the real answer. Looking at Mo Ibrahim's success story, maybe some of you know about Mo Ibrahim, the first person to invest in telecommunications in Africa. When he wanted to invest in late 1990s, early 2000s, people were laughing at him here in the UK. Why would you invest in Africa with all the corruption, the poverty? Who will buy cell phones? Because people see it as a toy for rich people. Africa was struggling to eat. Who will buy that mobile phones? But he didn't look at it from that perspective, because he looked at it as an innovation. Africa is big. We have people living in remote areas with their loved ones and family, maybe living in cities. For them to communicate with their loved ones, they have to travel for hours, spend money. What if you can take a mobile phone and call someone? It is easier than traveling. So looking at that, he invested with no bank was willing to give him loan to invest in telecommunications. He started with only 5 staff, no roads, no infrastructure, no electricity. He built everything. Within 5 years, he expanded Celtel to more than 15 countries in Africa, and he sold the business at $3.4 billion US dollars within just less than 5 years. And today, telecommunications revenue, annual revenue, is predicted to reach about 155 billion US dollars in just sub-Saharan Africa, according to GSMA. So you can see from just 300 million investment, today revenue is more than or almost 155 billion US dollars. So AI these emerging technologies we are talking about, they are more promising than telecommunications. So looking at this opportunity, it is an opportunity for you to invest, solve real-life problem, and make big profit. Then, fourthly, it is about government support. I've been asking, why are you not coming to Africa to invest? Some will say lack of legal framework to protect your business, enabling environments, and many more. But I think in Nigeria, we have all what is needed for you to invest, start and grow your business within shortest possible time. We have a government that is pro-business. The president has mandated our ministry to accelerate the diversification of Nigerian economy by accelerating productivity in critical sectors through technological innovation. Therefore, we need you all to come and explore using these emerging technologies to accelerate productivity in agriculture, in education, in healthcare, in all our critical sectors. Because we have the population. When it comes to population, Africa, Nigeria is the next frontier. And when you talk about population also, it's about the digital native. We have, like, looking at the Conferis research, just talent is $8.5 trillion US. So if you invest, you can get that. So to achieve or implement this mandate given to our ministry, our minister has unveiled a strategic blueprint for us to implement, which has 5 strategic pillars. Firstly is knowledge, because we believe knowledge is the foundation upon which countries build robust and sustainable economy. Looking at knowledge, we have identified 3 initiatives we are implementing. Firstly, we are going to train 3 million tech talent in Nigeria. We have started, we are creating an ecosystem, a community where we have the training providers, the partners like you, and placement organizations. According to Conferi, most of developed countries will be suffering with this talent deficit because of aging. We have the young population. We can train our people, and with technology, it is possible today to live in Nigeria and work for any country of your choice or organization remotely. So we can train these people, they live in Nigeria, and put them on the global value chain, contributing to building the tech ecosystem. We also need them to build our own digital offerings in country as well. So we are looking at this 3 million, 1.5 for Nigerian market and 1.5 for the global market. Therefore, if you are building any solutions, you have access to this talent. Secondly, we look at research. Also, research is an area where in Africa we don't invest. There is huge investment in research globally, but mostly in where there are no problems to solve. For me, I think if you really want to benefit from your research, you should come to a place with problems. Invest in research to get solutions you can solve those problems. So we want to put Nigeria among the top 25 percentile on 6 key emerging technologies: AI, IoT, UAV, additive manufacturing, blockchain, and okay, the other one skipped my mind, but 6. So we need to invest. We have already started by giving grants to 45 researchers, startups in Nigeria to do research on AI. And we want to use the outcome of that research to build our national AI policy as well. Because in government today, we co-create everything we do when it comes to policies. We don't sit in the office, use armchair theory to come up with policies, but we work with the ecosystem to co-create. That's why we are here also to listen and hear from you the kind of policies you want us to put in place to attract you to come and invest in Nigeria. And also, we want to achieve 75% of digital literacy by 2027, because we need our people to be digitally literate, to use this technology safely and responsibly. And that also can increase the number of users of your platforms as well. Then the second pillar is about policy. We are working on so many policies to make Nigeria more attractive for investment and for growing, developing use cases using emerging technologies. Thirdly is infrastructure. We are building infrastructure in terms of broadband connectivity, data center infrastructure, AI data center, and digital public infrastructure for public good. And fourthly is about innovation, entrepreneurship, and capital. As we invest in knowledge, infrastructure, we need to use that to attract people to come up with innovative ideas, to give enabling environments for entrepreneurs, as well as attract capital to our country. Lastly, it's about trade. We need to trade in terms of talent, exporting talent, because we know our talent is our greatest resource. And also, talent is the people component of technology. The technology itself cannot develop without the talent. You cannot build the solutions you are thinking of without the talent. We want to be the global talent net exporter. And using that, it will help us to boost our economy and create prosperity for all. So in conclusion, I believe now you have a better understanding of the dynamic, vibrant, and prosperous Nigeria. And I invite you to join us on this journey so that we can build this ecosystem together for Nigeria, Africa, and global ecosystem. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Kashifu. Fantastic.
I hope I didn't finish all the time.
feeling, well, let's just stay standing because we only have like a couple of minutes. And okay. I just wanted to at least give a couple of chances for a few questions. So look, I'm feeling optimistic about Nigeria, right? So, which is really great to hear. I did not realize the age of the population. That's a huge advantage when you think about this. Now, you play chess, right?
Yeah.
So he's a keen chess player. There are so many moving pieces, right? But I can see the strategy has a lot of different pieces. What can the UK do in creating this bridge between Africa and UK?
Yeah, I think UK need to go beyond opening border with nice immigration policy for our citizens to move. Let us also leverage on building the Nigerian ecosystem. Because when you talk about ecosystem, it's not something you can succeed in isolation. You need everybody to be part of it. And when we talk about AI, it's not something that UK or any country can build in isolation. Because we talk about safety. If you build it in isolation, how sure are we it is safe for us? How sure are we it will not be racist, or it will not be gender
biased?
Yeah. So we need to work together to build that global ecosystem So we need to do more in terms of promoting the trade, in terms of we can provide the talent. We have young population. You are suffering with aging. So we can provide the talent for you to build your ecosystem.
It shows, doesn't it?
As well as...
No, it's fine. Thank you. No, that's terrific. I think we've got time for one question. Anybody in the audience to have one question? There's so many. Okay, the first person the microphone ninja gets to. Thank you.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Marion. Very inspiring. I'm from Ernst & Young. Inspiring, listening to you. And I totally agree with you, the young population in Nigeria. I've worked in Nigeria in clinical trials, and I think one of the areas that we struggled was having the individuals with a certain education and kind of compliance level that we required. And I think that's something that probably could be addressed with virtual education. I agree the young, under 30 population is really inspiring, but what are the plans to further educate this young population and to ensure they meet the requirements for other, developing markets?
Okay, I talked about two initiatives. Firstly, the 3 million tech talent we are building. We have started and we have more than 1 million youths registered for it. And our strategy, we want to start with 1%, that's 30,000. Then we'll do 10% and 100%. We want to train them within 4-year period. And secondly is on the digital literacy. We have developed the National Digital Literacy Framework, which we have identified 26 competency areas we want to build within within Nigeria, and different proficiency level from the basic, intermediary, and advanced. And we are working with the ecosystem, different ministries, development partners to create content and also to review our curriculums in the education system so that we can introduce digital literacy to be part of it. And also at my agency, we are working also on building learning communities so that even people outside the formal education system can benefit from it.
Thank you. I'm so sorry we haven't got more time for questions. There was quite a few people that would like to ask you a question. Please stay and join the sessions afterwards, because I think people want to know more. Thank you so much, Kashifur. Thank you.